Yeah, I'm gonna finish my last tea. There we go. So good. All right, let's find our spot on our mats. Today we'll do a lot more standing postures, right? So if you use props for any standing postures, or I see some of you have walls and fences and trees, those would all be good props for standing postures as well. You don't have to have two blocks. Yeah. But if you're indoors, might be helpful. All right, let's come to our mats. Get yourself a little cushion. You can sit comfortably. Hmm. Yeah, finish up any last drink of water or tea, any waking up movements you need to do. So that means like maybe rubbing the inner corners of the eyes or outer corners of the eyes, through the temples, forehead, sweeping and bring Agni heat to the face or the hands or the skin, right? This kind of brushing sensation, the part of Ayurveda to bring heat back to the surface, the largest organ of the body, the skin organ. And then once you have a little bit of prana towards the skin, you can just close your eyes, just feel the sensations in the body. So what we'll do today is we'll do a little bit of a warm up, more standing postures, and then a nice long shavasana um, with support if you have it. So go ahead and gently close your eyes. Or maybe you're in a really pleasant location and you want to keep your eyes open, but softly inward, as though you're taking in just the energy of the place, but not fixing on any particular thing. You can bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra, slight space between the hands and the head bows down. Let there be space between the teeth, so the teeth part in the mouth, maybe even the lips part, but breathe through the nostrils. By placing the tongue at the top roof of the mouth behind the teeth. Super relaxed, almost like the face is just really releasing and any tension hanging free. We'll start with our invocation. Beginning with 5 recitations of the mantra Om. 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 And then bring your mind deep into the heart. Within the chakra of the heart, the Anahata chakra is a bindu, point. And that point is the connector, the portal to the unknown, from the unmanifest to the manifest. So as you draw your mind deep into the chest, middle of the heart, lotus of the heart, center of the lotus, the dot, the bindu, and into that hollow tube, into the great void, and reciting Om there. Inhaling. शुक्लं भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये ॐ सहनाववतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Maybe there's a specific sankalpa today, as it is the Purnima, the full moon, as it is the longest day of the year, the solstice, a turning of the universe in a new cycle, a new direction, from generation to the energy drawing back in itself, back to the source. And if nothing arises, just being with your energy in this moment. With your next exhalation, place your palms face down on the lap if they're not there already. And then just bring attention to the very tip of your chin. You can even take your index finger of your dominant hand right to the edge of your chin. Good. And then as you inhale, you're going to press your chin forward into the finger. And then as you exhale, press your chin back, the finger, almost as though coming into Jalandhara Bandha, creating traction with the neck spine. So inhaling, pressing forward, jutting the jaw forward, even maybe sliding the lower jaw in front of the upper jaw. And then exhale, draw in. Do that a few times. And just seeing where within the spectrum of movement do you habitually hold your head, jutting forward, in the middle somewhere, maybe drawing in and down. Right. The next time you exhale, draw the chin into the body. Feel the neck spine elongate, and then bring the head down, or the hand down, excuse me. And then your awareness just circles around the whole skull region, just as though the skull is floating upon the shoulders, not collapsing on the shoulders, so that you can really feel that wide spaciousness underneath the chin, jaw, and along the sides of the throat. Just enjoy that open column for a moment. And then the band of the shoulders, ribs, lifting and rising away from the internal organs in the belly, supporting themselves. And also the belly band to the lower back, rising away and up from the pelvic floor, not collapsing onto the pelvic floor. And the pelvic floor stable and solid against the earth. So every part of your spine has its own place, its own purpose, its own home. Transitioning to 36 rounds of Kapalbhati. Remember, Kapalbhati, the intention of Kapalbhati is to cleanse and purify the nadis. With every forceful exhalation, invoke that sankalpa of cleansing and purification. May all impurities be free from the nadis. May all the toxic matter, the ama that gets stuck inside the intestine, be purified, burned up, so that the organs can shine. If you're not doing Kapalbhati, you'll do 1 to 2 breathing, longer exhalations to inhalations with your focus on the abdomen. Take a deep inhalation. Lightly hold the breath and slacken the lower jaw. Draw up the Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, and then begin. Steady rhythmic pace. Up to 36 rounds. Mind focusing on one point along the spine, whatever you're drawn toward. Maybe even visualizing these energetic rivers, that force of the exhale pushing free anything that's lodged, creating discomfort in mind, body, or spirit. Good. And then relaxing back into slow, steady, rhythmic breaths, maybe diaphragmatic breaths. Good. We'll do one more round. Inhale, let's take the arms out and up. Just lightly reaching up. So we're not going to really press or exacerbate the reach. We're just going to lightly reach up so that the shoulder joint, elbow joint, and are really feeling spacious and open. Good. And again, draw the chin in and down. Inhale. Lightly hold the breath, draw up Mula Bandha, and then begin. Forceful exhale, passive inhale, up to 36 rounds. Steady, rhythmic, freeing. Feel the energy circulating now in the chest, lungs, and heart region of the body. All the nadis there being purified, cleansed. Whenever you're finished, the hands can come down. Whenever that is, right? Stretch out your legs. Any tension that you're holding now from sitting for a longer period of time, take the legs a little bit wider apart than hip width. And then you'll just push along the sides of the legs so that they just move on their own from the hip, maybe all the way down to the shin, outer shin, or even down to the ankle. Good. And then casually just lean back onto your hands, right? And then as you exhale, internally rotate your legs towards one another. So big toes may touch. And then as you inhale, rotate the legs away from one another. So maybe the pinky side of the toes touch to the ground or towards ground. And you just move back and forth. Now, instead of focusing on the feet, imagine, feel, sense the head of the femur joint in the hip socket, circling around, swishing around like a little mortar and pestle. And then see which location of the feet feel really good for you, either internally or externally rotating. Good. And then press into the hands behind you, lift the breastbone, turn the nose slightly up towards the sky. And take nice, deep, long sips of air, like we're doing Shitali pranayama, like the tube of the tongue, sucking in air into the jaw joint, throat, lungs. You're welcome to do Shitali breathing as well if you want to roll the tongue and even feel more coolness flooding the nadis of the face, throat, and upper chest region. Good. And then relax as you exhale. Spin the fingers towards the hips. Whatever you're sitting upon, you can take it off to the side. Bend your knees, right? Elbows move towards one another. Face gazes forward softly. Again, slacken the jaw, maybe even open the mouth, but still breathing through the nose. As you inhale, lift the hips. Face is neutral. And then as you exhale, lower down. As you lower down, curl into yourself towards the knees. And then inhale, lift. Maybe the face, the nose comes up a little bit higher towards the sky. As you exhale, curl in. Again, a few more times as you inhale, just practice the nose reaching a little bit back behind you, a little bit more, stretching the tendons along the sides of the neck. So you don't just drop the head back, you do a gradual exploration and see, maybe you even start to feel the achiness where the tendons insert. And then maybe you just stay there for a breath or two. And as you stay, you can circle the lower jaw around. Good. And then exhale, release. As you release, tuck your chin in, wrap your arms around your knees or your shins, whatever's comfortably available to you. Round the upper back. Good. Imagine two giant hands in your kidney band area and take deep breaths there. Feel the front of the abdomen pressing against the thighs, the sides expanding out and the back behind you, all expanding out from this tube of the central channel. Now cross your ankles, come into Sukhasana. Whichever ankle cross is comfortable to you. Yeah. You'll inhale, you'll bring the arms up. Either reach up or if it's comfortable for you to interlace, interlace. We're going to spin around in a circle. As you exhale, empty the abdomen, have breath, and turn to the right side, and then fold over the right thigh. Nice long Ujjayi breaths. Inhale up and back through the center, and then exhale over to the left side and down, and then up, and over to the right. Really feel the full length of your exhalation coming out of the body. Often what we do is we cut off that exhalation. We don't allow the full release. Good. And then see if the momentum leads you now to come into a full circle, rotating to the center as well and out to the side and back up. If the arms become a distraction, take them out to the sides of the body, and you can just feel now that beautiful band of energy that hugs the internal organs to the front and the internal organs to the back. So maybe it just was overprotective a bit of your internal organs. You were doing something where they needed more protection, and now you can ask that band of muscles to softly release tension and rotate in the other direction, just to balance the weight distribution. Beautiful. A nice strong Ujjayi breaths helps for that release of tension in the musculature. Good. And you'll rise up on the inhalation. Do one more seated posture. Lean back slightly. Keep the left shin where it is. Take your time. I'm just explaining as you come out. Right leg long. Yeah. And then keep that right leg really relaxed, right ankle really floppy. So you can just kind of flop it around. You're not doing a very strong press, right? So you are activating and reaching the thigh bone down, but the ankle is super soft. Good. And then slide the right hand down alongside the inside of the right leg. And then inside the left arm reaches up, bend the elbow and hold the back of the head and press the head into the hand, turning the head slightly towards the left side. Maybe you can gaze right at the very tip of the left elbow. Good. Now take a deep breath in, open the mouth and sigh out. empty all the way down to the bottom lobes of the lungs. And then deep breath in, rotate the elbow up towards the sky. And exhale, sigh out all the tension along the lateral body. It reminds me of the sound of like a pressure cooker when releasing steam. I mean, we use that a lot here. I don't know if you use pressure cookers so much, but it's release the steam in the body, release excess heat, excess tension, excess pitta. Good. One more. Maybe even a lion's breath where you stick out the tongue. And then you'll inhale to rise. Take your hands by the sides of the body. See if you can switch the legs without the hands. And once the legs come in, then adjust them. Good. And then again, the left thigh is really drawing down to the earth, but see if the left thigh can be really engaged with the earth, but not contracting the ankle. So the ankle is really relaxed. So the energy of prana can still flow through the joints. And then slide the left arm down anywhere along the left leg, can even be on the leg itself. And then inhale, right arm up, bend the elbow, hand to the back of the head, and then lean the head back, right? If you're feeling disbalanced, create a little bit more pressure with the right knee towards the ground. So you create an anchor point for yourself, for your body. Good. Turn the head. Maybe you can gaze the tip of that right elbow. And then inhale, don't force. Exhale out the mouth. If you enjoy the lion's breath, you can stick out the tongue in Simhasana. As you inhale, rotate and see if a little bit space was made, and exhale, release. Few more times, maybe 3 more times, with the intention of releasing accumulation along the side body, along the nadis, right? The right and left nadis, the Ida and Pingala nadis along that central channel. Good. One more breath. Good. I don't know about you, but that felt really good to me. And take the arm down, pull the knee in, right? Locate yourself so that you can turn towards the short edge of your mat. You'll either bring your legs out to the side and then roll onto all fours, or roll over your shins onto all fours. We'll take one Adho Mukha Svanasana, legs long, high chaturanga, and then exhale. Bring the hips up and back. Good. Yeah, if there's something else you wish to do, maybe you continue with that, especially if you're feeling jaw pain, that Simhasana. Sticking out the tongue on the exhalation. Really good for releasing inflammation, excess heat in the body and the joints. Good. And then with your next exhalation, you'll bend the knees, look forward, step, or lightly hop towards the hands, right? You'll come into a squat, and then you'll inhale, lengthen the legs, and fold over them. As you fold over them, soften the knees and take the hands behind you, behind the thighs, and hold on to opposite wrists, opposite lower arms, or opposite elbows for the strongest pull. But keep the knees bent. Good. Now drop the head down. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, squeeze the upper body towards the legs. Good. As you inhale, soften the hold of your hands, look forward. And then as you exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. If there's a space in your legs to go longer, you'll do that. Good. And then release the hands. Bring the hands forward in front of the feet, almost like you're going to lean over, almost fall over towards the front of the mat. So you actually bring the weight off of the heels onto the balls of the feet, and you lift the heels, gaze forward between the hands, and just feel the lengthening the movement of prana in the lower legs. As the joints in the lower legs open, see if you can relax the face. See about the feeling of the movement of prana from the lower half of the body up through the back lines of the legs into the hip band. Good. And then exhale, drop the heels firmly back down onto the ground. Inhale, hands to the hips, lengthen the upper body and rise up. Coming to stand, take your arms down by the sides, Tadasana. Yeah, nice. Yeah, overhead stretch is always good. It's nice counter. And good. Now just close your eyes. Feet are anywhere from hip width apart to maybe together, whatever feels best and natural for your body. And then come back to that inner scan of the weight rising upwards. So the head rises up, releases any compulsion down into the ground, and has that upward lift to release tension along the base of the neck and jaw. And the shoulders hold their own weight, the chest holds its own weight, the internal organs swimming in the belly, pelvis swimming above the leg bones. So see if you can guide that prana upwards in space. Good. With your next exhalation, take your palms onto your hips, open your eyes, bend your knees, and then lightly step or hop the feet apart. Good. Toes out, heels in. You'll inhale, bring the arms out. Oh, you can be on the long edge of your mat, yeah? You're facing the long edge. Interlace the fingers, press up. Now, as you exhale, turn your hips to the right side. As you turn your hips to the right, just naturally arrange your feet so both hips feel really nicely focused towards the right side. You don't feel like you're off balance here. If you do feel that way, you can even widen the stance. Nice and wide stance means full support. Good. Now with the arms reaching up, imagine that if it's not yet nighttime, that full moon above you, showering down right onto the crown of the head. Separate the hands and reach the backs of the hands back. Gaze up. Even though the moon may not be risen, the moonlight is still upon you. Good. And then as you exhale, hinge the hips back and forward and down. Any amount. As you inhale, soften the front knee and rise up. Slight back bend. Be aware of the crown of your head as you move. Exhaling forward halfway down, maybe even longer. Reach long, long, long into the diagonal. And then inhale, rise up. This time, stay here for a breath, rising up. This time we'll chant the mantra Om going down. And that Om, feel it releasing any shaking, trembling in the limbs, any impurities in the nadis that are blocking the flow of your mind into the body. Take a deep breath in and exhale Om as you come down. Inhale to rise. Feel the energy in the crown of the head. And then when you're ready, your next exhalation, exhale Om to come down. Om. Soften the knee, inhale to rise. This time we'll exhale Om, come down and stay. When you're ready, next exhalation. Om. Your hands can be on the leg, on a support if there's a bench or a tree or blocks you can hold on to if your fingers don't comfortably come to the ground, or blocks, or it's too difficult on the leg. Good. Draw the chin in slightly, lengthen the back of the neck, and feel the energy of the crown of the head reaching down towards the standing foot. Yeah, good. Deep diaphragmatic breaths into that entire back band of your kidneys, wrapping around to the front of the organs. Good. See where it's harder to breathe, where it's easier to breathe. And relinquishing any desire to get somewhere or to get rid of a sensation. It just is what it is. So we can just try to be more neutral and limit our aversion to what we feel in our body. Good. Soften the front knee. You'll, as the front knee bends, you'll rise up into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Front knee bending. Good. As you exhale, take your hands down onto the hips. And then you'll really bend deeply into the front knee, maybe even beyond the front ankle, as long as you don't have any knee issues. And then hold here. Front knee is moving forward, the lungs are moving back. Belly is contained in the space in between. Good. And then press into the front foot, rotate back to center. Exhale here. Yeah, rearrange your feet. They'll have slid this way and that way. And then next exhalation, you'll rotate to the left side as the arms come up. Release the interlace, backs of the hands reaching back. Just feel the crown of the head up towards the sky. The lunar showers upon the crown of the head. And then maybe a slight lift of the face, the throat, the jaw softening, and the heart reaching up. As you exhale, bring the hips back in space. Slide forward with the upper torso. Any amount. Inhale, press into the back foot as an anchor and rise up. And exhale, reach forward. Nice long Samavriti breaths if possible. One more time without the chanting. And then your next inhalation, you'll rise up. Feel the sensations in the crown of the head and that chanting of Om to release all tensions. Om. Two more times on your own. Inhale to rise, exhale to Om. That third time, you'll come down any amount, hands on the hips, legs, blocks, ground, or support. Every joint in the world of the body is interconnected. So discomfort in one joint is like a, cascading effect through all the joints of the body. So as you release now the joints of the hips, knees, ankles, the upper joints relax as well. They receive the decompression. So the lower joints are working on strength. The upper joints are working towards that deep relaxation. Good. And then rising up when you're ready. Bending the front knee, coming into Virabhadrasana 1. Very light version, right? You don't have to have a very long, wide stance. And then as you exhale, maybe you deepen the bend in the knee and take the knee beyond the ankle as you bring the heart and lungs back and the knee forward. Gaze upon one thing, inner or external support. And then soften that knee towards you. Exhale, rotate to the center, hands to the hips. And then step forward to the front of your mat, Tadasana. Inhale, bring the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Same movement as before, walk the fingertips forward, bend the knees as much as you need to so that you come up off of the heels. Rise the heels, gaze forward. Then rotate the jaw in one direction. Any clicking you hear, notice it. Rotate the jaw in the opposite direction. Open and close the mouth. Good. And then just flubber the lips. As you do that, drop the heels, bend the knees, and then step or hop back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You can make it a very short downward dog so that your heels are more close or onto the ground. You really feel that mountain shape of the body. Another name for this pose is actually Tadasana, mountain, because the hips represent that peak. The head is down, the legs are down. Good. And then when you're ready, exhale, bend your knees, step or hop through the hands. As you extend the legs forward, bring the hips back onto the ground, and then lay onto the earth. Shavasana. Shavasana will be our meditation today. So if you need supports here, and Shavasana means a resting posture. So it can be laying on your side as well, or it can be laying on your belly in Makarasana. Shavasana means to be like a shava, a corpse, to enter the state of repose of the bindu, the dot in the center of the chakra, the void state. So take your time and get super restful. Anything that mimics a dead body to you, that death state that is so important in renewal. So the full moon is embarking right at the death state, right? It's to its fullest point before it empties, before it releases that what's known as that soma or amrit, the nectar. And it's the same in our body. That full moon is in the third eye center, right above it in the soma chakra, filled with the nectar of our life force. And as we get older, that empties and gets burned up in the fire of the belly. So as practitioners, yoga abhyasis, we try to retain the fullness of that inner moon for as long as possible. So as you lay in Shavasana, just contemplate the inner imagery, the inner visual of the moon in the head and the sun in the belly. Moon in the Soma chakra, right above the eyebrow center, and the sun in the Manipura chakra, the belly center. And as you become aware of these 2 points, your prana will flow between them. So letting go of all control of breathing. And imagining that there's this hollow tube between the sun and the moon, which in yoga we call the Sushumna Nadi. And as the breath becomes more fine, the mind becomes more fine, that tube also becomes more fine, like a thin strand of hair between the sun and moon, carrying the electric current of prana. So you may experience it like an up and down movement with your inner gaze. You may experience it like 2 bindus, 2 points from the sun and the moon, or the space in between them. Just notice what arises as you rest and relax the body. And the more the body relaxes towards the earth, maybe the head will roll to one side, or a hand will flip open, or a leg will drop to one side or the other even more. Just notice and be aware. Good. And then continue the awareness now through the entire hollow tube channel in the middle of the spine, from the soma, the full moon in the head, down to the base support of the pelvis, even through the legs and feet. Let it be a gradual process of sweeping through the body, up and down with the internal gaze, mimicking the flow of prana. Rise and fall, rise and fall. Becoming aware of the subtle sensations in the body. All gross, heavy, dense sensation is made of subtle sensations. So when that density breaks up, it dissolves into subtlety. And when that subtlety breaks up, it dissolves into the void. The mind may wander to the peripheries of your energy body and then back into the center. Be loose in your guidance. Right. And then wherever along this center line, wherever the mind wishes to rest, whichever point, maybe it's a chakra, maybe it's just an unknown point along the body that's drawing you, let your mind stay there. And feel as though you are breathing in and out of that point, that bindu. And then again, rise and fall the mind from that point, up and down the spine, up and down that hollow channel. And as you begin to rise and fall, start to breathe deeper, invoking movement into your fingers and toes, and maybe into your hands, and stretching the arms overhead. Big, long stretch with the body, Tadaka Mudra. So you point the toes and reach the arms up overhead, creating that deep, hollow pond of the belly. Draw the chin in slightly to soften the pull at the jaw joint and base of the skull. Good. And then if you're on your back, roll over onto your belly and then press back into child's pose. You'll roll over into Makarasana, take the hands by the chest, and then reach the hips back, stretching long. So very active with the upper limbs here, and deepen the seat into the hips. Good. And then inhale to rise up onto your heels. Maybe you can sit in Vajrasana. If that's not comfortable, Sukhasana is fine, or on a chair, or a block between the heels. Palms down onto the knees, chin slightly down. We'll do a few rounds of Shitali Pranayama. You'll roll your tongue into a tube, stick the tongue out, and roll it. And then as you inhale, you're going to suck the air through the tube of the tongue and feel it drawing down through the throat, jaw, chest as you lift the face up. And then you close the mouth, drop the chin down towards the chest, and then take the hand towards either nostril and breathe out one nostril, the other. Hand will be in Vishnu Mudra. I'll guide you through it. So just bring the face to neutral at first. Soft closure of the eyes. Yeah, change your posture if you're not comfortable. Then roll the tongue into a tube. Inhale, lift the face to the sky. Close the mouth, roll the tongue back, bring the chin down towards the notch of the throat and bring the hand up towards the nose. Close the right nostril, exhale left. About 5 seconds. 4, 5. Take the hand down, roll the tongue into the tube. Inhale for 5, gaze up. Close the mouth, curl the tongue back if possible, chin down. Hand to the face, close the left nostril, exhale right. 5 seconds. 4, 5. Inhale, Shitali. Draw in that cool, refreshing prana. Close the mouth, draw the chin down, especially if you're outside. Close the right nostril, exhale left. We'll do one more round. Inhale, Shitali. Close the mouth, drop the chin down. Take the hand towards the nostrils as you close the left, exhale right. And bring the hand down, face to neutral. 1 minute, Shanmukhi Mudra. Take the hands out to the sides, bend the elbows, and bring the thumbs into the ears. Next 2 fingers lightly over the eyes. Ring fingers to the sides of the nostrils and pinky fingers to the corners of the lips, right? After Shitali, you might be very attuned to that cool flow, that tube of energy between especially the nostrils, jaw, throat, soft palate, and chest region. Good. Now plug the ears and just focus on the inner sound of your breath, the nada. Go ahead. 1 minute, Shanmukhi Mudra. Plug the ears, focus within. And then release. Hands lightly folded, fingers crossed in the lap. Your pointer fingers stick out, so all fingers are crossed except the pointer fingers, and the pointer fingers touch down onto the earth. If you're in a chair, the pointer fingers just downwards towards the earth. Yeah. Kshepana Mudra, the mudra of release. And then the head comes down. You can either look at the mudra or close the eyes. And just feel everything draining from the head, eyes, jaw, mouth, the inner experience of the mind, down the throat, heart, shoulders, elbows, wrists, palms to the very tips of the index fingers and deep into the earth. Right? And not just the things you want to let go of, but the things that you are giving back to the earth, the fruits of the practice. It's like you have this little magic wand in the mudra and you are infusing energy back into the earth source, as well as accepting the earth as a container for all that you hold. And then you'll inhale, bring the palms together in Anjali Mudra at the heart. Expressing gratitude for the lineages that you are part of and practice within, all teachers who come before you, within you, and will come after you. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. As you exhale, surrender back to the body, to the earth, or you can come back to Shepana Mudra, feeling of drawing down into the earth. Idam Namama, not mine, not mine, not mine. Inhale to rise. Rub the palms vigorously, maybe even the backs of the hands. Bring energy back to the surface of the skin and take that heat and place it to the eyes, face, all around you. Whenever you need to massage as you blink the eyes open and come back. Thank your environment for holding you, inner walls of your space or outer natural environment, watching you, witnessing you, right? Thank you. Thank you all. Yes.